In this recording, we're actually going to get into how to create and catalog a work record. So let's set the stage. You already were given the order that you needed to catalog with the information. The order number is 2815 and the first image was 347564. According to the information you have, whether it's from the slide or the book, is that it is Moses Striking the Rock by Abraham Bloomart. So what we want to do now is you go into Works, you do your Control Find search for the title, and you discover it's not created. So what you have to do is create a new record and start cataloging. So Control N will give you this new record, and up top you have a lot of fields that you don't want to touch until the very end. So what you actually will be working through is starting from the first one, working your way through the tabbed layouts to fill in the information. The first one you'll be doing is the work types, which are classes and work types. Classes is more general terms, work types more specific. Since this is a painting, they're actually going to be the same, painting and painting. However, if you had a building, it'd be architecture and classes, and then the type of building, whether a dorm, church, office building, that's what the work types would then be specified. Now, that's all you have to do on that tab. You move to titles, and you type in the title, Moses Striking the Rock, and you have a couple things that you have to do from there on. Your type, now you have the couple different choices here. Your cited is usually what you see found in the book or whatever you are getting the information from. Creator is if you know that is what the artist actually named it. Descriptive is if it's an unknown, there's no title, and you just make up a title to be able to give a little bit more details about what it is. Sometimes it's a former, and if it is a former, more than likely it'll be for a second name because you can create multiple titles at that point. But these are just give you choices. Moses Striking the Rock, since it was Dutch, I'm going to go ahead and say he created it as Moses Striking the Rock. Just he named it in Dutch, but we'll say it is the English version, and you always want to have the preferred title. So at that point you have to have a preferred for each of them. And then what you do is you always have a build button down here. Click the build. Sometimes layouts have more than one build, so you'll notice that it goes down and you'll see builds as you continue and fill in more information. Location has a few more things you can do. If it's an architecture piece, more than likely you'll be filling out where it actually is found in this geog place name. It has the drop down C for country, G for geography, R for region. More than likely you're going to be doing it from the G authority and do your search from there. However, we are going to be using it, or it's found in a repository, so underneath that is this repository button. So click the repository, and then you see that it automatically pops you into the search mode because of magnifying glass. So you type in the name, Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. Notice there's 12 records found that have Metropolitan, so you just click over till you find the one that you want. Metropolitan Museum of Art, New York, New York, copy. And to get back to the works, I always go to work locations there. And then what you do is you just paste it next to repository. And if you have a session number from the museum, you pop it in here, 1972 171. And then you will notice that you have a build down here. So you click the build button. That'll create it. And then you also have the opportunity to create multiple locations, but you always want to build down at the bottom. Now, one of the things to kind of mention as well is you have the built work here and up top. Again, if it's a building, click it as a built work because you can use that later. Alright, cultures and agents. This is where you're creating who did it, what the artist or architect is. So the culture is Dutch. It's a drop down once again. And then in the agents, what you do to search for the agents is you click the agents. Now, at this point in time, it's done by Abraham Bloomart. And we have three choices here. So I'm actually going to say that it is going to be the first one. So I'm going to click the CX, which will copy and close window. The plus actually adds it to the topics and close. Don't worry about that. So CX, and then paste right next to it. Use the paste button. And then when you click off, it automatically fills what information it got from the authority. Now, attribution is if it's part of a school or a circle or whatever. Probability if you're really not sure. And then the build under here. And as you scroll down, actually, I'm going to enlarge this screen again. Sometimes it does shrink when you do go to these search modes. You can always create multiple agents, and then you have to build after each agent, and then click build down at the bottom. Now, one thing, if you accidentally create another agent, all you have to do is click the X in any of these forms that have multiple choices. So clicking the X will delete the information that you put in for just that person or place or whatever. Periods and dates. When you see this screen, what you'll do is the first one, periods. This one's Baroque, another drop down. Dates. This one actually has just one date, 1596, but you want to put in start and end date. So 1596 to 1596. If it's a circa being around about a date, you can always drop that down. But once you do start and end date, it automatically builds the work dates here. You don't need to worry about the rest of it. You do want to click the build button. As you see, going down, you build as you go down. Date display. Centuries. This is actually going to be in the 16th century, and it automatically creates the era as well. So at that point, you move on to your next one. So measures. You only have to create the measures for one. I have it in centimeters, but you can always drop down and change it to inches or whatever. The height in this one is 79.7. The width is 108. And once you build, notice it'll also put it into inches as well. So what you do next is just click the build. We'll give you the inches. Materials and technology, or techniques anyways. The material is oil on canvas, which you type in the first couple letters, oil on canvas, and you build the materials display. And then the techniques is going to be painting. Painting, image making. So you, once again, click over build. As you build as you go down, build again, and then build again. So we do a lot of building, and you'll see why we do a lot of building. Alright, you don't need to worry about text. However, subjects, we do like to put in a couple different things. So what you do, most of your subjects are actually going to be topics. So for instance, this one has, let's just say, female, and do a search for female, female nude. It does have that. So click plus. You want to do another search that has water, and you have a plus here as well. Plus automatically adds it to this. And let's just add one more. Usually I want 3 to maybe 6 subjects. You don't really have to go more. This just allows for additional searching. And let's do a search for rock. And rocks by composition, materials, and then plus. So at that point, we have gone and filled out everything that we really needed to. There are no more builds down at the bottom, so all you have to do next is click this build at end and work subject display as well. So you got these two builds up top. You don't need to worry about call number. And then you just click copy, go back to image, paste, and if it is a view of a building, you have a drop down for detail, and also you can put in view titles there as well.